What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another new comic book day haul top 10 list. I'm your host, ARCOMICS, and in today's episode, I'm going to be going over all this week's pickups for new comic book day, March 2nd, 2022. I picked up a total of 11 issues this week, so you know what that means. One of them did not make this week's top 10 list. We had a lot of big name titles come out this week, but honestly, for the most part, I thought they were all just alright. I'm going to be getting into that very shortly, but before I get into these books, if you are new to the channel, I drop weekly comic book content that's going to keep you up to date on all of the latest releases. So if you want to miss out on any of that, be sure to hit the subscribe button down low and the little bell to get notified. Every time I drop new content, you won't regret it. And now, without further ado, let's get started on this week's top 10 list. Alright, everyone, I hope you're all having a fantastic day so far today and you were able to get all of your new comic book day books in on time. Super quick, before I get started off on this week's top 10 list, I want to give a huge shout out to this channel sponsor, Whatnot. It's a buying and selling auction style platform. It's where I sell all of my personal comics, but also, if you guys didn't already know, I do work full time at my LCS. I host their comic book auctions on Whatnot, and I'm going to be going live tonight at LV_comics. All the links are down low in the description. I go live pretty much 6 days a week, but more importantly, on Thursdays, besides the exclusives, slabs, and incentives that I do, we also have the new comic book day incentives as well. So if you missed out on anything, most likely I'm going to have it tonight. Like I said, links are down low in the description. Check it out. Even if you don't want to buy anything, we always have good conversations. It's a very fun time. So to get started off on this list, as always, just be aware there's probably going to be spoilers. I get really excited talking about these books, but I'm going to put a little spoiler tag down low in the corner once I get a little bit more in depth with the issue, and I don't want to ruin it for you completely. So this first issue did not make the top 10 list. I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with it. We've got Marvel's Captain America, Iron Man, issue number 4. This is cover A. Honestly, at this point, I think there's one issue left, maybe two at the most, but I'm pretty much just buying it for the Alex Ross covers. I'm a big fan of these covers. I love Alex Ross. The story itself, though, it's alright. In the beginning, it felt like one of those Marvel cash grabs to me. As the story progressed, it was a little interesting. I didn't really care too much about it, though. Honestly, this issue in particular was probably more of my favorite ones of the series so far. Had a little bit of everything. We had a lot of action, but more importantly, everything that's been going on in the series, we got a little bit of background story and everything that's been going on behind the scenes. If you're reading this series, let me know what you think about it down low. But now let's talk about the real top 10 list. Alright, everyone, so to kick this top 10 list off, first we've got coming in at number 10, this is Marvel's Alien, issue number 10, this is cover A. So in the past, I've highly recommended this series. Maybe I'm a little biased. I absolutely love pretty much everything with Alien, Predator, the Terminators. If it's got monsters in it, I'm a big fan of it. But as far as this series goes, I've always said if you were a fan of the movies, it's definitely necessary to pick up because I felt like this series read as if it was a movie. So personally, I was a very big fan of it. For the most part, there was a ton of action, a lot of good stuff happening throughout the series so far. However, with this one, easily could have not made the top 10 list. To me, it was a very boring issue, but I do understand not every single one of these issues is just going to be jam-packed with action and just a lot of stuff happening. You need these plot-heavy, dialogue-driven issues sometimes to really progress the story. And for me, that's why I'm putting it in as the top 10 spot. While I don't think there actually was any action at all, we did get to see possibly a new alien species, and I'm really excited to see what they do with that. But for the most part, it was just the characters just talking with each other. A couple of them found out they were lying to each other over the course of the last couple issues, and other than that, they're just trying to figure out what to do since what happened in the last issue. The last issue was absolutely crazy. All hell broke loose. So like I said, I'm putting it as number 10 because I do understand that not all these issues are going to be action-packed. This one definitely was a little bit slower, but for those reasons, we have Alien issue number 10 coming in at number 10. Next up on my list this week, we've got Marvel's The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 91. This is cover A. This is going to sound crazy, but I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like this series has taken a different turn. Ever since the new volume popped up, I absolutely loved it. I loved everything that they were doing, whether it was the action, the plot progression, just the two different plots going on between Peter Parker and then Ben Reilly, and also the Beyond Corporation. As of late, they added the Queen Goblin into things as well. So just all in all, it's been a very jam-packed, action-filled series with a lot of good plot in it. These last couple issues, though, like I said, I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like the vibe is just different. The storytelling feels a little bit harder to follow, and this issue in particular felt very cheesy to me. I don't know if it was just the monsters or the villains that Beyond Corporation was trying to create, and then the rest of it just became action, and Ben Reilly, Peter Parker were fighting those monsters. But this is where I said maybe it's just me. I felt it was kind of hard to follow who was actually talking in this issue. I kind of felt the same way in the last one too. I'm not going to be getting too much more in depth with this issue because, to be honest, for the most part, that really was just it. A lot of action, Ben Reilly, Peter Parker trying to fight off the Beyond Corporation villains. And then obviously Beyond Corporation still has a few more tricks up their sleeve, but let's talk about this one a little bit more down low. But for those reasons, we've got The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 91, coming in at number 9. And next up on my list this week, we've got coming in at number 8, this is Marvel's Black Panther, issue number 4. This is cover A. This is a series I've definitely been very critical of as of late. I haven't really been a big fan of the first 3 so far. I honestly think it's gotten between 6 and 7 to 10 on my top 10 list every time it came out. The last issue with that big first appearance, that's kind of what got me sticking to this. And at this point, I'm kind of treating it like the Captain America Iron Man series as well, where I'm pretty much just buying them for the covers at this point. But I want to see what they do with Tosin. I've been pretty interested in this whole mystery as to who the Snake is in this little secret organization that T'Challa created. This issue in particular, I liked a lot more than the first 3, and everything that's been built up this entire time has led to this issue. T'Challa's putting all of the clues together, he's figuring out who the Snake is, and he does come to a conclusion as to who it is. Do I agree with it? I don't think it's going to be that character. I am going to be sticking with this one for a few more issues, but I want to hear your opinions on this one down low. But for those reasons, we've got Black Panther issue number 4 coming in at number 7. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 7, this is Image's Hellcop, issue number 5. This is cover A. Honestly, this was a very fun read. I definitely recommend it. This also is the end of the arc. The first 3 issues, I really liked the whole mystery as to who is trying to frame Virgil, who killed his partner, and then we pretty much found everything out in that 3rd issue, kind of the 4th issue, and then they introduced a new plot point, and I wish they would have extended this arc just a few more issues because it felt to me it ended just a little bit too abruptly, but I really like what they did with it. So this issue had a little bit of everything. We had a lot of action. We had just awesome dialogue amongst the characters, and just all these demons from hell are coming together to try to help Virgil. That's all I'm going to spoil from this one. It really was a fun read, but like I said, that's why I'm putting it in as number 7, mainly because I felt that they should have elaborated on that whole thing that they were trying to do with the Hellcops just a little bit more. But for those reasons, we've got Hellcop issue number 5 coming in at number 7. Next up on the list this week, we've got coming in at number 6, this is Marvel's brand new miniseries. We've got What If Miles Morales Became Captain America, issue number 1. This is cover A. I am definitely biased towards What If series, definitely biased towards Miles Morales. I love What Ifs. I'm a big fan of Miles as well. And with this one, I'm obviously not going to be getting too in-depth with it. The title is very self-explanatory. What if Miles Morales became Captain America? That's exactly what this was. It was a nice little origin story. I love that they included Miles' family in it. We had the Prowler, we had his friends, we had his family, but we also had Starling in it as Falcon too. The best part about this one though to me was the ending. There's going to be a little bit of a spoiler, but when he looked into that whole machine and he got to see all the different Miles, that's where the whole What If series is going to be. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the other Miles as well. But the one main problem I had with it, it's not really a big problem, but what is a What If series without the Watcher? The Watcher was not in this one. That's my only issue. I was really a big fan of the rest of it, but for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 6, What If Miles Morales Became Captain America, issue number 1. And now we're down to the top 5 issues of the week. We've got coming in at number 5 this week. This is Image's Newburn, issue number 4. This is cover A. This is another series that I highly recommend. This was the start of a brand new arc, and I loved it just like the other ones so far. In this issue, we've got Newburn. Typically, he's kind of hired by not just the police, but also hired by the mob, so he plays like a neutral party. This issue in particular, the police hire him to pretty much figure out who killed one of the police officers. Turns into a whole issue, but Newburn does what he does best. He does his detective work, and that's pretty much why I love this series. Every issue just feels like a nice mystery. Newburn is a smart character. He's got all the details locked in his head, and as a reader, we're trying to figure things out as well. I definitely recommend this one. Try to find the back issues if you can, but for those reasons, we've got Newburn, issue number 4, coming in at number 5. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 4, this is Marvel's Moon Knight, issue number 9. This is cover A. This continues to be one of my favorite ongoings for Marvel right now. This series is phenomenal. Each individual issue just feels like a unique story in its own way. A lot of these issues, obviously, they build off of each other. This one in particular, Doesn't exactly pick up where the last one left off because if you guys can recall, the last issue was kind of a standalone story, but the results of what happened in that issue with the whole Midnight Mission being destroyed is what led to this issue. I almost don't even want to get into it. It was just a mind-bending issue. We got to see Moon Knight, and he's just in this maze, and it was just so good. Let's talk about this one a little bit more down low, but it was very important for the story going forward. This is going to be a spoiler. So Moon Knight did get his brand new Midnight Mission. It's a fresh building, but is it really a building? I'm going to leave you with that one. But for those reasons, we've got Moon Knight issue number 9 coming in at number 4. And now we're down to the final 3 issues of the week. We've got coming in at number 3 this week. This is Images, Nita Hawes' Nightmare Blog, issue number 5. This is cover A. So this issue, while it did come in at number 3, I thought it was going to be absolutely crazy based on how the last issue ended. All hell broke loose in that last issue, and Nita Hawes landed herself in pretty much hell. And that's where this issue picked up, and I thought it was going to be crazy. But it was different and extremely good in its own unique way. So I thought there was going to be demons and just a lot of action and just crazy stuff happening. It was more like her being in hell and she was being tormented, but not tormented as you would think. It was mainly just the demons playing some mind games with her, trying to break her. You saw a lot of stuff like that. But in the meantime, everything with Howling Henry is still happening on Earth, and I love that plot point too. This is a phenomenal series. I always say it. If you're reading Philadelphia, you need to read this one as well because they're starting to make some more connections between the 2 series, and they're just making this demon vampire world. It's so cool. Definitely check it out. But for those reasons, we've got Nita Hawes' Nightmare Blog, issue number 5, coming in at number 3. Here we go, down to the final 2. We've got coming in at number 2 this week. This is DC's The Nice House on the Lake, book number 7. This is cover A. It is finally back, but was it good? Of course it was good. The Nice House on the Lake is back. This is one of the best series that I read all last year. James Tynion absolutely killed it on this one. I'm going to be honest though, there was a lot of time in between these 2 issues and I kind of forgot what happened in the last one. Had to do a little recap, do some rereading, but this one pretty much follows exactly how the other issues have been. Its main focus point is on one of the characters and just her interactions with Walter and her connection with him and just everything like that. I'm not going to be getting into that too in depth, but as far as the rest of the story goes, phenomenal. I'm just such a sucker for this series right now. I love everything about it. The thing that's really intriguing to me too is everything with Walter. Obviously, he's still a mystery, but now he's back in the series. He's playing the nice guy. He's trying to get close with everybody again. But at the same time, he's got something so sinister up his sleeve, and I want to know everything about it. I can't wait to keep reading this series. I love what he's doing with it. I'm really looking forward to it. But for those reasons, we've got The Nice House on the Lake, book number 7, coming in at number 2. And here we go. This is my top read of the week. We've got coming in at number 1 this week. This is Images, Nocterra, issue number 8. This is cover A. What an issue. What a series. I absolutely love it. This is one of my favorite ongoings from Image right now. To me, this issue was extremely important going forward for the series. We got a lot of info. We learned a lot of stuff. There's just so much stuff happening in this series right now. I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with it. I do want to keep this one very spoiler-free because when I review a lot of these issues, it's just, yeah, we had a ton of action, a little bit of plot progression, but we see our main characters just trying to figure out how to survive. If you can recall from the last issue, we've got our main group. Instead of just trying to survive, they decide to change course and they decide to go after Blacktop Bill. They said, we need him. He is the key. We are going to take him and make him tell us what he knows. This issue, not going to be getting too many spoilers, but I'm just going to say it. We learn a lot of stuff about what's going to be going on in this series, in the world. Phenomenal read. Highly recommend it. And for those reasons, absolutely Nocterra, issue number 8, taking the crown at number 1. So what do you guys think about this week's New Comic Book Day? I'd say overall it was a very okay week. My top issues, I absolutely love them. But for the most part, I did think a lot of the issues were very average. Obviously, some better than the others. But let me know down low in the comment section what your favorite book of the week was and which one you think I missed out on. And thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help. And if you want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, including my shorts, I'm dropping shorts 1 to 2 times a day. I'm having a blast making them. Usually I drop them at 11 a.m. a.m. EST, and then also around 5 or 7 p.m. EST as well, so be on the lookout for them. And be sure to hit the subscribe button down low and the little bell to get notified every time I drop new content. You won't regret it. And I've got 2 more videos sitting off the side here with more of my comic book content. Click on one of those, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.